Hi guys, it's Arsh Ellahi, and in this session I'm going to be showing you how you should be forward planning for the forthcoming year. So we're at the end of year 2020. I just want to do a quick disclaimer that everything that I say here, it doesn't just have to be done at the start of the year. You can do this at any point in your property journey. Before we get started, I want to say a quick hello to all subscribers, all listeners and all watchers. Hopefully you're really enjoying the content, and more importantly, if you do like it, please press the subscribe and like button and share it with all your like-minded friends. So let's get moving straight on. So how do we plan? So we're at the start of a new year. We're coming towards the end of 2020, start of 2021. You should be now looking to forward plan for the forthcoming year. Have you set your goals? Have you set your targets? And more importantly, the one thing I will say to you is that how are you going to achieve them? The reason being is that it's all great having goals and targets, but if you haven't got an action plan to how we're going to achieve them, how are we ever going to get there? So I've broken it down today. I've just created like a little mind map, and this is what I do pretty much at the start of every year. I look at what my goal is. I then understand what is it that I need to do to get there. So for the purpose of this video, I've just worked on an example of, I know lots of people contact me about rent to rent, so I'm going to utilize that as an example. So I'm going to use it as an example there as rent to rent. So 2021, the purpose is rent to rent. So I want to acquire as many rent to rent properties as I can within 2021. How am I going to do this? First thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to ask myself a load of questions, because this is what you need to do. You need to get a clear plan as to what you're going to do and how you're going to achieve it. So in order to acquire some rent to rent, how are we going to do this? Are we going to go directly to the agent? Are we going to work with agents, or are we going to try and approach landlords direct? Because each one has its own set of action points. So if we approach agents, it's a different way of approaching them. If we approach landlords, we've got to run a marketing campaign as to how we do this. So if we're working with agents, the question is, do you know how many agents there are in your location? Now, to do this is quite simple. And you don't need to be a rocket scientist for this. All you got to do is go on Rightmove, go on Zoopla, go on onthemarket.com, and all you've got to do is have a look at how many letting agents there are in that location and make a list of every single one of them. So we've got Rightmove, we've got Zoopla, and we've got On The Market. How many agents are there in total? How many properties are they advertising? How many of those could you potentially work with? So on Rightmove, there may be 30 agents. Each agent has approximately 10 properties that you think you could potentially work with. Zoopla may have 10 agents, again, another 10 properties each. On the market, it may have 15 agents, again, approximately 10 properties each. Now, that gives you a kind of a target. It gives you a bit of an overall as to, even if I get a small percentage of those, I'm still going to be generating a decent business from this alone. So once you've understood how many properties and how many agents there are, the next thing that you want to do is kind of identify how are you going to approach them. So I've put in there, are we going to call them? Are you going to pick up the phone and say, hi, my name is John, I'm a property investor, I'm looking for properties that I can take on a long-term lease, or whatever your spiel may be. You may be working with supported living providers, you may be looking to do it on a service accommodation style. You may just want to run it as a standard HMO. Whatever it may be, you need to get your pitch right so that when you speak to the agents, they understand what your offering is. Because if you fail to do that from the outset, they're not going to work with you. So let's just say that you're going to call them. How many agents are you going to call? Are you going to call all of them? Or are you going to start to try and go and set up meetings with them? Are you going to go and try and do a face-to-face, I want to come down and have a coffee with you kind of scenario? For me, I like to do phone calls. I'm much better on the phone, and I find that I can do more on the phone, and I can have a 15-minute conversation with them as opposed to go and spend an hour with someone in their office. But everyone is different. Some people may want to go and sit down and actually explain stuff with the agent and show them their portfolio, have some documents, have some leaflets and go and speak to them. And that's fine. I'm just telling you what works for me, but you need to determine what works for you. So are you going to call them? Are you going to go and have a meeting with them? Or are you going to call and inquire about the property initially and go directly to the viewing? So 3 different strategies there. That's why I'm saying we need to try and identify and break it down bit by bit. So from there, you need to then determine how many calls are you going to make a day? How many viewings are you going to go on, either on a day or on a week basis or on a monthly basis? Or how many letters you're going to send out? So remember, I've just concentrated on the agent side. Now, if you were to approach landlords direct, how are we going to approach them? Are we going to send them letters? If so, how are we going to get their details? Are we going to just send out blanket letters and we're going to send out letters to the whole area, or we're going to find the properties on places like Rightmove and then we're going to send them a letter? Are we going to do a leaflet campaign? How many leaflets are we going to produce? Are we going to do a blanket policy, or are we only going to send the leaflets out to properties that are let or being shown as to let? Are you going to try and approach the landlords off the HMO register? Are you going to try and approach landlords by finding their details off land registry? These are all strategies, but you need to define it, because saying that you're going to do it all is never going to work. And what you're going to find is that you're going to start this, forget about it, start this, forget about it, and in actual fact, you don't actually end up doing anything. So you start to become, I don't know what the phrase is, jack of all trades, is it? Master of none. And then off the back of that, you need to have some form of record as to how many calls you've made, how many letters you've sent, how many leaflets have you sent, and kind of gauge the response. So, okay, on Monday, I made this many calls to the agents on Rightmove. Out of the 10 calls that I made, I've got potential 2 interested parties. 8 said that they weren't interested. That's fine. Okay, we move that and we put that kind of into the conversions, or what I consider the KPI, which is a key performance indicator table, because then it tells you where are you getting or where are you spending most of your time and what is the most productive method for your time, so that you can start to scrap out or strike out all the things that are not working for you and concentrate on the things that are working for you. So does this kind of all make sense? And remember, this doesn't just have to happen for rent to rent. This happens pretty much for all strategies. So if you're looking to buy to let, again, how are you going to approach? Are you going to go to the agent or are you going to go to a landlord? Again, go through the whole process. And this process works for whatever strategy you want to do. If you're looking to do developments, if you're looking to do service accommodation, if you're looking to do commercial to residential, and you want to source all these styles of deals, this little drawing or diagram, as rough as it may be, will work for you regardless of what your strategy is. If you're looking for service accommodation deals, where do you find the flats? Where do you find the properties? Again, it all starts with either agent or vendor. And that's the same for any strategy. If there's a commercial building, who owns it? Are you want to dealing with the commercial agent, or you want to deal with the landlord direct? So can you see the benefit of this, guys? So we're at the start of 2021. Plan your year right from the outset, because it's what you do now which will determine what you do for the next 6 to 12 months. More importantly, you can diarise that on this day I'm going to make this many calls, so you're structuring your day in a manner where you know exactly what you're doing. On Monday, I'm going to concentrate on Zoopla. Tuesday, I'm going to concentrate on Rightmove. Wednesday, I'm going to concentrate on the market. Thursday, I might send some letters or arrange some meetings with some of these. Friday, I might go do some viewings. So by doing that, you're putting yourself well ahead. And more importantly, you know where you're going to be in the year. More importantly, it's all about being consistent and remaining consistent with your actions. Because it's all very well, everyone starts off the year, and I've been guilty of this. Everyone starts off the year, this year is going to be the best year of your life. But the reality is that everyone starts out as if it's like a sprint. You've got to treat the year as if it's a marathon. Because if you treat it as a sprint, what happens is that you're going to end up burning out within the first month. You're going to do all this within 1 month. Month 2, you're not going to know what to do, because in month 1, you're going to get lots of rejections, and that will happen. That's part of the process. And once you get the rejections, you're going to think, wasn't a really good use of my time. I'm not going to do that again in February. Next thing you know, something comes up in February. All of a sudden, you're off track in month 2. You've got to remain consistent so that whatever you've done in January, you do in February, you do in March, you do in April, and you go on throughout the year. And it's those that stick the last or stay the whole length of time are the ones that succeed the best. And they're the ones that become successful. So there you have it, guys. That's just a snapshot of the kind of planning that I get. I appreciate it's not pretty. It doesn't need to be pretty. What it does do, though, it gives me some things to start focusing on so that I can actually start working on different kind of projects. You see that I've got bits of paper all over. Behind us, I've got a mind map. I've got some mind maps over there. I've got some mind maps over there. And these are things that I have to reflect on. So, okay, I've got a goal. I've got lots of mini broken down points as that I need to achieve to hit that goal. And that's exactly what this is. Remember, the end goal is to acquire properties. These are all the action points that are going to allow me to reach that goal to succeed in 2021. So guys, if you like the thought of that, you like free content, please go and download my podcast, which is called The Property Rebel. It's available on all podcast stores. So it's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify and Stitcher and a few other places. It's called The Property Rebel. We release a new episode every Tuesday at 6 a.m. More importantly, if you want to connect with me on social media, you can do so on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter and Instagram under the handles of Arsh Ellahi. And then finally, if you haven't already done so, have you downloaded the Property Investor app? It's the UK's first property investment platform which showcases all kinds of deals all over the UK. Completely free to do so. You can go to our website, which is propertyinvestorapp.co.uk, or you can go to the App Store on your smartphone by typing in Property Investor, and it's there for you. It takes you 2 minutes to register, and you've got 200 plus deals right in the palm of your hand. Now, here's an opportunity. I'm throwing this right out there at the start of the year. I'm going to be showing approximately 30 people how to deal trade and how to deal source by using a lot of my strategies. I'm going to put in the link below a link to a webinar that I'm running throughout January. So if you like the thought of that, please feel free to get in contact or copy the link, and I look forward to seeing you there. More importantly, moving forward into 2021, the Property Investor app is growing. I want to build a team of brand ambassadors who can come along and work with the Property Investor app. You'll be self-employed, but I'll be showing you what you need to do so that you become a brand ambassador for the Property Investor app, so that you can go out there and when you're speaking to agents, you don't just say, hi, my name's John Smith. It's, hi, my name's John Smith. I'm part of a larger network called the Property Investor app. Here's who I am. Here's what I do. Can we work together? So as a result of that, if you want to get in contact and you want to speak to us about that, please send us an email to admin@arshellahi.com, and we'll start getting in contact with you early in the new year and seeing where that goes with you. So guys, on that note, as always, wish you all to be safe, well and happy, and welcome to 2021. And let's hope it's a real successful year for you too. Thank you and bye-bye.